We're on continuation of getting the town maps from Daisy. Alright. So we all receive our town maps. So of course it makes sense now that she says Grandpa asked you to run an errand when she's saying it to her sisters. Now, in this sense, we are already also in this version you actually have the Pokédex tool in the start menu above Pokemon now this time. Oops, that was my fault. So at the same time, you will be able to find out more as we go to Route 1, and ideally I didn't get bothered coming back up. And ideally nothing has happened yet. But an interesting part that makes things much more interesting, they say and state that we can catch our first Pokemon. We can actually help the professor with the research, and thank goodnessly it was me that had seen Pokemon first. So as it is, this female Rattata comes up, and they're all nervous. Of course, she shows her teeth and everything, and of course, they're nervous and they just tell me I tried to capture her. Be coming up shortly. I tried to do growl a couple times, and then I throw Pokeball. I tell a blast, of course, since Rattata's doing tail whip, to do growl a couple more times. Because Rattata's trying to lower our defense. So, of course, for once we see Rattata, we see a Pokemon skip a Pokeball. So we find out about the professor's words when he says you have to be lucky to catch a Pokemon healthy. But, second chance and try, we end up catching Rattata. And of course, in this instance, since we have the Pokédex, hopefully it does explain the genders at the same time if it was on the movie. And here's information on Rattata. As I didn't realize before, it states that it's a grassland type Pokemon on the top left of this information. Is the only in-depth name for right now, I'm saving it. We will find out information on her after. There's a female piggy pops up. first few of trying to catch this pigeon. If you'd like, it could be. This can be her time to actually catch Pidgey first, or this episode scene could be after we catch our Pidgey, because her Pidgey ends up being named. Now, an interesting concept. This now rare kind of concept. Got the coughs. But as it is, and how it ends up being, end up she ends up battling Miss Rattata. Of course, it's in the option. Everybody's asking and wondering if she's going to catch it. And she's just like in the debate mode of thinking of not like catching it. She puts it in the statement that she'd rather catch a Pidgey instead. So as it is, she ends up kind of surrender to just be bubbling. Now, of course, ideally, they are doing research and they are capturing them for real, also in the same sense, also. As the female Rattata comes out. Now, in this sense, also, I ideally have named for two of the Rattatatas, the females. But first, I have to see how the nature of Fangs ends up being. She is timid. Of course, Spot, she's more bold than I am, and she throws her Pokeball immediately. Now, if they add and make the sequence like that, that would be kind of neat. Okay, and this is the green Pokédex also. So, of course, she has to capture information on the same Pokemon also. Just want to make sure. Of course, her names. We need to find out her gender and nature. We know her gender, of course. And she is native, so she is a Kanto Rattata. So as it is, we continue and we'll go further up the route. There's one thing I did not do for a route, the Peloton to Viridian, is set a time map to register. Once you register, you can easily open it with the select button. And as it is, we are on our way to Viridian City from Route 1. And this is part of the sequel, but I will show you and explain more of the route on the next episode as we'll get further.